Welcome to Vaughn Powers Talks, where we don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the... Wait, hold on. It's Winning Wednesday. It's Winning Wednesday. It's Winning Wednesday. Y'all, it's your girl, Brandi Harvey. Y'all, let me tell y'all, I just got so thrown off right now looking at that countdown because I have a countdown clock, y'all, that I use in taping the show. And y'all, I have a countdown clock. And I'm looking at this countdown and all in my mind, I'm sitting in the seat. Welcome to Vaughn Power Talks, Lord. So it's Winning Wednesday. How y'all doing? Atlanta, Georgia's in the building. Cleveland, Ohio is most definitely in the house. It's Winning Wednesday. Ended up seeing this, my book light, girl, in the back. Just all. I told Kiana we was ready, but we wasn't really ready. How y'all doing? It's Winning Wednesday. They said, okay, live virtual interview. Y'all, your girl... I taped the show yesterday, and so I think I was still in that mode. I told Kiana I felt so tired today, and she was like, "Oh, I think it's the weather." I don't know where my head. I said, "Welcome to Vaughn Power Talks, where we don't just scratch." Listen, I said it in the meeting earlier, Kiana. So just know I'm gonna get off autopilot. How y'all doing? It's Winning Wednesday. Good to see y'all in the building. They said, let's win. How y'all doing? Atlanta, Georgia's in the building. I see y'all. How y'all doing? Virginia's in the building. Good to see y'all. It's Winning Wednesday. Y'all, I took so many breaths before I started. Barbados is in the building. Texas is in the building. Prague is in the building. Good to see y'all. It's Winning Wednesday. Y'all, I took so many breaths before I started. I said, whew, let me hold on to Kiana. I said, I don't have my tablet. I can't see the comment. I said, wait a minute, give me a minute, child. It just went, it spiraled. Okay, y'all, it spiraled. So it's good to see y'all. It's Winning Wednesday. How y'all doing? Pennsylvania's in the building. Barbados is doubly here. Good to see y'all. It's Winning Wednesday. Now, y'all, I hope you're living with as much audacity as I am in 2026 in this Good Black History Month. And I have my read of the week. So this is the book I'm reading this week. So if you are looking to say, what Brandi reading this week? This is the book I'm reading this week. I thought I was going to be done with this book by the weekend. But your girl was out here gallivanting. It was like the first weekend that wasn't freezing, frigidly cold in Atlanta. And so I was out in these Atlanta streets just a little bit. And so I did not clock a lot of reading hours. I'm over halfway through the book. I'm literally like in the middle of the book, halfway through the book. But this is the book of the week. Came here as you are. Okay. Love to see it. Yeah. So good to see y'all's Winning Wednesday. The Poet Empress. This is the book of the week. It just came out January 27th. It's given a little fantasy, Asian fantasy. A girl, there goes a call out in these surrounding villages that the emperor is looking for concubines. And this poor girl who grows up in a rice paddy, her village like really comes together to send her off to go become one of the concubines, because what that means is now you got a little cash, you throwing a little money, your family can be taken care of, her little brother can go to school, all these things. And the journey that it takes her on, because the emperor that she is trying to be the concubine of, he is extremely wicked. So it's a fantasy book. So if you're interested in a new read, it's actually good. I also listened to some of the audio on this, and the audio was pretty good too. It gives you to know exactly how to say the characters' names too, pronounce all that kind of stuff. So that's a good one for the audio. But it's a beautifully written book so far. So I like it. So anywho, that's my book of the week, The Poet Empress by Shin Tao. That's the book we got for the week. And I have an audio book that I'm starting today. So I will keep y'all posted on the book progress. So good to see y'all. It's Winning Wednesday. Can I share a little good news with y'all? And let me say this, because this is going to be for somebody who got in this chat. It's about to be for somebody. I feel it in my spirit. So on Sunday, I'm sitting at my sister's house. We were about to watch the Super Bowl, and I got a text message. get a text message said, hey, I nominated you for this and you were accepted. Congratulations. And I'm like, what is this? I look at the email. It's for the top 50 women, women of the year for the U.S. Black Chamber. And I was like, oh, 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 wow. Thank you. I appreciate that. Did not know I was nominated. Girl, didn't know they had some awards out there. Okay. When I look back and I went to the 2025 honorees, I was like, oh, I know this. Yes. You know, I saw Carrie was one of the honorees. Dr. Carrie Bryant was one of the honorees. I saw Maisha Dillinger, who's been one of the honorees, Kim Roxy. So many wonderful friends of the show. All these wonderful women that I've sat with. I believe St. Marshall might have been on the list. So anywho, y'all, I get this email on Sunday. So of course I show my sister, you know, so she is like my ultimate hype man. Like when I say my girl love me down bad, you know, my girl love me down. So they, you know, I shared this with them and I didn't even tell anybody else in the family. So everybody who was over there knew. Carly, being BJ and Benny were the people who knew that I got this. And then I was like, oh, I saw the email. I said, well, let me post it that I got it because they give you like, you know, some little parameters or whatever. So anyway, long story short, I post this. Well, anyway, I'm not really thinking too much of it. I'm in my super friends chat. Shout out to my super friend Sherry Riley, who drops it in the chat. And she was like, congratulations, so deserving. She then proceeds to send me a voice note. And so she sends me a voice note. And I responded to her because she was like, you know, what did you do for your application? You know, da da da. And I was like, girl, I said, I'm going to be honest. I sent her a message back. I said, girl, I'm going to be honest. I said, I didn't even know I was nominated for this. I didn't even know I was nominated. And I said, so I honestly had no idea about the application, da da da. I told her like my, you know, friend who does my booking, Kim Byer Clark had, you know, she said, hey, I put this in for you and I got it. So all of that to say, people will speak your names in rooms if you just continue to do the work. If you just continue to do the work, people are going to speak your names in rooms that you didn't even know existed. You didn't even know there was a room. You weren't thinking about an award. You were only looking at the assignment, the purpose, the task at hand. And people will speak your names in rooms that you do not even know of. There will be blessings and blessings overflowing in your life. People will see you that you didn't even know was looking at you, with you, for you, checking for you, any of the things. So I had to tell y'all that because my girl Sherry, Dr. Sherry Riley, sent me a wonderful, we had a, you know, one of them good back and forth voice note conversations. And so I was just so grateful because she got me to you know, she reminded me of that. And I say that because, you know, in there she was like, Brandi, you have just served as confirmation that God will speak my name in rooms that I didn't even know, I wasn't even trying to apply for, I wasn't even thinking about. And I want that because sometimes we look at these lists and we look at these people who get on these lists. And don't get me wrong, now let me just let the record reflect. The top 50 sitting heavy. Okay, let me just say that now. Okay, shout out to the U.S. Black Chamber because shout out, the list is sitting heavy. Okay, Serena Williams, Shonda Rhimes, Issa Rae, Lena Waithe, Cheryl Isaacs. I mean, just come on. I'm in great company. I feel amazingly honored and so just thankful and grateful for the opportunity to be in that space. Shonda Rhimes, honey, we Bridgerton. So all of that, I said, man, I didn't even know I was in the running. I literally am just sitting on the couch and I'm just looking at my phone and looking. That's it. And here, boop, here it come. And I know sometimes the work just gets so daunting and you look at these lists and you be like, why ain't I on the list? And when I'm gonna make the list and when I'm gonna do and get the list and do all that. Girl, let me say this. Don't worry about that list. Don't worry about making no list. Continue to do the work where people will show up for you, where your name comes with the reputation of excellence and greatness and wisdom. All of those things. If your name is associated with that, nothing is going to miss you. Nothing is going to miss you. And so for all my people who are like in this space of, when is it my turn? When am I going to get my shine on? All of that. I want you to understand, don't worry about that list. Because if people keep watching you, they're going to see you. They're going to associate you with something. They're going to speak your name in places that you did not even know existed. And so that for Miss Core in the comments, or Core 2, stay focused. Sherry saying she claiming it in advance, all of the things, y'all, because it's so real. I literally was sitting up here like, dang, my mom was so pumped. Y'all know my mom, she was so pumped. She was like, oh my gosh. She was like, okay, so we're going to DC. I was like, yeah, girl. I was actually going to call you and ask you, did you want to be my +1? So anyway, all that to say, keep doing the work, because let me say this. I sat down yesterday, I interviewed John Boyd, who is the president and founder of the United Black Farmers Association. I mean, longtime civil rights activist, advocate for Black farmers, minority farmers, women farmers, Native American farmers, all the people. He is literally power to the people personified. And he was supposed to come film the show a couple weeks ago, but things happened. He had to cancel. We were able to rebook him for yesterday to film the show. And y'all, let me just say this. I feel so honored that people who are legends, who are just iconic people, who are not the entertainers of the world, who are not the reality television stars of the world, who are not the influencers of the world, social media influencers of the world, but these like iconic people get to come, and they feel just as honored as I am to sit across from them. And that is why I really just had to say, like, we got the list, right? We are grateful for the list. But when you get an opportunity for your work to keep speaking, where people feel just as honored that they are coming to sit with you, that they get to come share their story with you, because they say, I respect what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I was happy to come drop this Black history knowledge off on your platform and say it on your show. Man, listen, I feel so elated, okay, by the audacity, the way God is showing up with such audacity already in my life. See, it's one thing when we ask to have the audacity. It's another thing when we trust God enough to show up audaciously in our lives. It's one thing when we say, God, I want to have a little more audacity. I want to dream bigger. I want to go for bigger. I want to go for more. I want to go believe for more. I want to go take bigger leaps. It's another thing when we believe that the source that supplies it all says, I'm going to be audacious on your behalf. See, when we totally understand, wait a minute, there's some higher supernatural powers working in my favor that want to see me win, that want to see me thrive and be happy and have as Ashley Curtis came on the show yesterday and said, a yummy and delicious life. Because God wants me to have a yummy and delicious life. It's another thing when you believe that you serve an audacious God. When you understand that God is so powerful, so omnipresent, so here in the now with you, through you, working on your behalf and working through you to make it happen, baby, that's some audacity. Okay? That's audacity. Okay, the audacity is trusting that I don't have to keep trying to do it my way. And there's a God who is going before me to clear a path, to move every obstacle, to make and set the table before me. Baby, that's audacity. Y'all, I'm just, so when I say I got audacity, just know there's some real audacious favor that gets sprinkled and sprayed and poured onto my life. Do you understand? You feel me? Okay, you feel me? Angela said, "This is so good, so true. Congratulations, so deserving. I am so grateful." Let me say this. Y'all, y'all did this. Okay, y'all do this. I need y'all to understand. Y'all do this. I don't do it without y'all showing up on Thursdays at 10 a.m. To watch these episodes, to support the clip, to share it, to keep moving it forward. That damn, this is a conversation that might help you, girl. I just saw Brandi Harvey over there. They was just talking about that. I'm gonna send you the baby. It's because of y'all. Okay, it is because there is favor, because I have consistently shown up and trusted even when it does not look good enough to trust. Listen, even when it don't look good enough to trust, like, baby, that shit looks faulty. Like, that don't look sturdy. What you mean? Okay, I should not go over there. Listen, so I am so grateful. And I mean, literally, it was on that list, Brandi, as a leader of women who are leading the movement. Okay, so let me just go say this. Let me say this as I'm telling y'all this story. I gotta tell y'all this part. In the email, when it said you are one of the women who we believe are leading the movement. Okay, that sounded like big stuff. Okay, that felt like some big shoes, baby. That felt like a big mantle. All of the things, because I'm like, damn, leading the movement, man. But guess what? I get to sit down with people like John Boyd and Cent Marshall, the first Black woman to serve as the president of an NBA team. This is Black. I'm giving you Black history. Come on. I'm giving you Black history. I'm giving it to you. I'm bringing you to classrooms so you don't forget. So you get to be reminded of how powerful you are in the world, and for you to act accordingly and rise to it. So when you see people come and sit in that seat, baby, just understand that these are people that have gone to lengths and depths and jumped over and walked on some water. Okay, walked on some water. So to have the people like Desiree Rogers, to have people like Dr. Cindy Trim, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, Dr. Joy DeGroot, baby, come on, receipts. Listen, come on, receipts. Listen, because it don't lie. So I'm telling y'all, as a woman who is leading the movement, did not thought it would be shaped and sounded and all the things in that way. But to be around other in the company of women, just to know that somebody is out there talking about, I see you, Brandi, I see you, I see you. And so for all of y'all who watch every single week, I see you, I thank you, I celebrate you. Anytime I get on that list, baby, just know I'm taking y'all with me, okay? Y'all go with me. You know how Maya Angelou said, 10,000 ancestors behind her. Listen, I take all of y'all with me who have built this platform for it to be what it be. Okay. So I had to share the praise report because there's somebody who is saying, I ain't gonna get it. I ain't gonna make it. I'm not gonna do it. They're not gonna give it to me. They not gonna. Girl, I'm here to tell you, it's already done. Somebody already moving on your behalf, working on your behalf. Miss Molly said, I saw Cent on a documentary and knew who she was because I saw her on Empowers. Come on, church. Listen, because I saw her. Like when you see a Tiffany Hainsworth with her Tea Capri Tequila, the first to do it, the first to be as a Black woman to do it like her. You know, all these people who have come, the Fawn Weavers of the world. Then you got the Jay Barnett's, Dr. Jay Barnett, and you got the people like Dr. Raquel Martin and Dr. Spirit who get to tell you how to love on yourself a little bit better in the process, who show you how to love on yourself a little bit better, to give yourself some grace. And so I was like, when John Boyd came yesterday, and here's the thing about John Boyd when he came to film the show. I mean, like, he was like, girl, I liked you instantly. Like, from the moment you came out and saw me, I was like, I had on another hat. And he said, girl, this brim. I said, I wore my hat for you. I was like, I wore my hat because I knew you was going to have on yours, right? And John Boy, if you're not familiar, I can't wait for y'all to see this episode because you got to just let the elders speak. Okay, so y'all know when I have the people like Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, the folks like a John Boyd, I'm asking very few questions because they giving you a whole lot to take in. And so to really just sit at his feet yesterday and learn. I mean, this is a man who introduction to the White House was in the Carter administration to later the Clinton administration, both Bush administrations, Reagan, both Bush administrations, Clinton administration, Obama, and all that you Biden, Trump, all the things. And so this man has seen so many things. He sat with so many world leaders from Fidel Castro to Gaddafi, to all these people all around the world, Nelson Mandela, all this because this is a Black man who is a farmer. Okay. So I just want you to be thinking about, we think about certain things of our lives and we say, oh, well, that's not big enough and that's not going to get me in the door and I should go be doing something more grand. If you do the thing that you love, it's going to get you in every room, open up every door, do everything that you needed to do because you done loved on that thing, right? And so when I look at somebody like a John Boy who had to be extremely audacious to do what he's done, to garner over $11 billion from the United States government to minority, poor, Native American women, Black farmers. Yo, you got to know when you're sitting with greatness, okay? And that audacity shows up in so many ways. To be audacious in that way, that requires a different level of faith and tenacity. But we keep looking at it. We keep looking. Everybody want to be famous so dang on bad. Everybody want to be on YouTube. Everybody want to have a podcast. Now, I know, Brandi, you're on YouTube. Brandi, you have a podcast. Brandi, all of those things, right? But everybody ain't gonna. We striving for fame. We not striving for impact. Like, it's too many people striving for fame and less amount of people who are striving to make impact on people's lives. How will you be talked about when you close the book on this life? What will they say about you? How you loved on people, how you treated people, how you showed up, how you gave of yourself, you multiplied your talents in the earth. What will they say? Everybody is looking to be famous, but everybody, we got to start looking to be impactful, because the thing that you do with vigor and passion and love and honesty and curiosity, that is the thing that's going to open up every door that you need to open. But you got to lay in on the thing. You know, every 5 minutes, your ass jumping ship. You got a new thing. It's something you got to ride. One of these waves you're going to have to ride. Okay. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with this one today, but I know it's for somebody, because we keep looking at accolades. We keep looking at the things that, oh, if they validate me, it is wonderful. I'm telling you, as a person who just made a list, I made a few lists before. I have made quite a few lists. I ain't even going front. Your girl done got on some lists, but I think we keep striving for the list. We got to be striving to make the impact of how we treat people, how we show up in the world, how we love on ourselves. That is the demonstration. I keep telling everybody, look, you trying to talk about you out here trying to win souls. Baby, you better be a demonstrator of who God is. You better be a demonstrator. You the walking receipt. You are the walking receipt of how good God is. So don't tell me how good he is and you just over here barely getting by. I don't want that guy too. I don't want that guy. I don't like his bounce back game. Okay. You are a walking, talking, breathing, living receipt to be a demonstrator of God. And so you do that in how you love on people, how you love on yourself, how you show up in the world with kindness, with gratitude, willing to make a difference, be a problem solver, a solution giver. Okay. So anyway, they said, I agree. I was just talking about this morning about always shifting gears and not staying focused. Just. Okay. You got to stay focused. You're going to have, as one of these things, you're going to have to just throw all the chips on the table for it. You know I've told this story a few times. I know I've told it a few times, but when David Shands came to do my show a few years ago, and he came to film Bought and Powers the very first year, 2023, that we're doing a show. And he said, how can you be consistent? Consistency is the key. I'm consistent, right, in the gym. So I treated it like, okay, however I'm showing up just like how I show up in the gym every single morning. It don't require me to post it. It does not quite. People ask me, oh, you still working out? I ain't never stopped. Somebody asked me last week, oh, you still working out? Yes, girl, every day. I've never stopped. But because people don't see you post about it, because you're not in a challenge, because you're not posting about it every day, like it with the mirror pic, then they're like, oh, that must not be real. No, I'm too consistent. So I'm consistently in there. I'm not consistently taking the pic. Some of us just want the pic, but other people want to have the process and the progress of what consistency looks like. Some of y'all just showing up to the gym for the pic. Oh, I got a video. Oh, I was cute. My outfit was cute. I got the new sneakers. You're just there for the pic. There's other people in there who are in there to clock the receipts. Because when you see me, you might not have seen me in the gym. You might not have seen me posted that I was there. But when you see me in person, you're going to say, oh, she got the receipts. She got the receipts. It's the consistency. So if you find yourself starting and stopping, what can I do? Take one thing. And I always tell people the gym is the most, if you can't get consistent about you, you're never going to get consistent about something else. If you can't get consistent about the one body you have, I don't care how many doctors, how many Dr. Kerrs, how many Dr. Miami, how many BBLs, how many slim BBLs, thick BBL, athletic BBLs, ab sketching, whatever you got to go do, baby, do it, right? But at some point, you're still going to have to get consistent. Don't matter. That's why you see all the people who get lipo, they blow up. Oh, she just got lipo 360 and she bad big. You know why? Because she didn't understand. She thought that she was gonna get to skip the steps and skip the line. In order to see results in your life, you're gonna have to trust the process. You have to trust the process. When David Shands first came to sit down with us, I think when he came, we might have been at 20-some thousand subscribers. We might have been at, might have hit 20-some thousand subscribers. And you're like, that is a lot of people. And then you hit that 100,000. You're like, okay. Then you hit that 200,000. You're like, okay. Now you're like, okay, sky's the limit. But we would have never got there if we stopped. If it don't get the amount of views, hell, the Alabama Brawl episode that we just dropped, that hasn't even cracked 10,000 views. Dietrich Giles, it didn't crack 10,000 views. Is that going to stop me from showing up? Is that going to stop me from putting out an episode? No, I'm too consistent. It's going to be there because when it come time and if somebody need it, baby, they just going to come onto the archive. When somebody need it, and now all of a sudden this person then picked up some traction somewhere else and now they want to come see what they going to have it. It don't matter. I'm too consistent. I don't care about the number. I care that I consistently put out the episode every week. That's what we consistently doing. We're not going to miss no mark on that. Now, whatever numbers it does, cool. That's wonderful. But we are consistent. And if you can't be consistent on a daily basis, start with your body. Start with your body. Start with working out. That every day you give yourself 30 minutes to an hour every single day. 1 hour, 4% of your day. If you can't give yourself 1 hour out of 24, you're hustling backwards, okay? 1 hour is 4% of your day. Start getting consistent with putting that on your schedule every single day. So now after 21 days, 30 days, I consistently gone to the gym. Some days you ain't gonna be up in there being Billy Blanks every day. Okay, so just get that shit out your mind. You're not gonna be in there being Billy Blanks every day. You're not gonna be up in there being Jillian Michaels every day. Okay, you're not gonna be up in there doing that every day. Donna Richardson, from my old school chicks. Donna Richardson. You ain't gonna be her. But if you just show up every single day, that is going to produce the results. You're gonna say, wait a minute, I've been showing up every day for myself. Man, I'm starting to wait a minute. I actually do see a little, wait a minute, I think I'm starting to slim down. Wait a minute, my pants do fit a little better. What if I keep going? What if I keep going? It's the question that you were always, what if I just keep going? Some of y'all keep falling to, what if I just keep stopping? What if I just keep stopping? Some of y'all keep stop. What if I just, well, maybe I'll just stop. I'll start somebody else. Oh, I saw that girl on there. She was selling waist beads. I think now I want to do waist beads. Oh, she sell tea. Okay, I think I do too. Okay, candle making. Oh, I love a candle. Every other day, you switching your mind, your time, and your line. All right. Every other day, you got to get consistent. Once you start seeing the results in your body, then it's like, okay, I'm gonna write every day. Maybe it's not, maybe you like, I already work out every day. Maybe if you're trying to write the book, you're gonna have to write every single day. When I was writing Breakthrough So separately, I would get out the house every day, just go write, just go journal. I didn't leave the house without my journal because everything was inspiring me. When I was writing the newsletter every single week for Beyond Her, I took that journal everywhere because everything was going to inspire me to write. Because guess what? I had a book to write. So I had to start writing every single day. You got to sharpen the muscle. If you don't use it, you going to lose it. And that's the same thing with anything, right? So just said, oh, I love some Donna Richardson. They said, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, just, she said, I just donated her VHS exercise tape to the Goodwill maybe 3 years ago. Shout out to Miss Donna. She used to come to the mentoring camp. I used to love her. She used to do the workout, the gospel workout with the moms in the morning at the Steve Harvey mentoring camp. Just said, I try to write a page in my book every day. Actually, my book is done. I just try to edit every day, but I always have interruptions. Here's the thing about editing. One, you don't need to write and edit your book. So let me just go ahead and take that off your plate. Since your book is done, we're gonna remove editing from the queue. All right. So if you're going through for a second draft, then great. But editing, you need another set of eyes, another vantage point, someone who is not invested in that book the way you are emotionally, physically, spiritually invested in this book. You need somebody else to edit the book. Okay. So we not even gonna do that. Okay. So that just came off your plate. So if you edit in the book, we gonna go ahead on Indeed or Fiverr or or any one of these sites and get somebody to edit that book. Okay. So, I think that there's just so many things that we, especially with the consistency thing, that we just miss the mark on because we want to be perfect at it. Well, I didn't work out that hard, or I messed up on my food. I had some this or I had some that. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking at you to consistently make the effort every day. All right. You're just consistently making the effort. There are some days I go up in the gym, like I was in the gym last night because I didn't work out yesterday morning because I was taping. I was in the gym last night. I think I might have done 20 minutes of cardio. And then I got off and did a little bit of legs, a little bit of arms, a little bit of back. And then I sat with my homegirl up in the gym and we just talked. She was moving around more than me. And I was just like, she was like, are you done? I was like, I am. I had enough body parts. I did some abs. I did a little arms. I did a little legs. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not being Billy Blanks yesterday. I wasn't being Billy Blanks. All I said was I moved my body. That's what I told her when I got done. I said, I moved my body today. I didn't do no long, drawn out, oh my God, exhausting workout. Like I said, I did 20 minutes of cardio on the elliptical machine. And then I did a workout that touched every body part. I did every body part. That was another 25 minutes. I was sitting around on scrolling on my phone, talking to her, catching up on the day. And it's not about being perfect. It's just about being consistent, that you consistently show up. Will you edit my book? No, I will not. Just said, she asked, would I edit her book? No, I am not an editor. I am not an editor. I'm not an editor. No. Now I'm a critic. I'm a book critic. So if you were looking to be critiqued, I could definitely do that. But I ain't no editor, okay? So no, can't edit it. But I'm sure you can find someone on one of these wonderful sites. There's so many author-driven sites that can help you find that. So we talked about being consistent. We talked about putting in the work, finding if you can't find to be consistent with all the stuff outside, focus on being consistent with you. All right. So that was our that's our takeaway for having that extra audacity. Some of y'all gotta be audacious enough to trust your power. Some of y'all have to be audacious enough to trust your instincts, your intuition, and your power. We have given so much power away to all these outside sources, all these, you are so powerful, and you don't trust your own power. You've been made to believe that there is no power inside of you. You've been made to believe that only power comes when you got money or status or prestige or some award or some accolade. No, you already divine by your birthright. You have been given divine power to heal the sick, to raise the dead. You have been given that power to multiply in the earth. You have been given that power. So some of y'all, to be audacious in 2026, you are going to have to trust your own power. I was talking to a friend. She and I met up. We had not seen each other in a few years. We ended up meeting up for coffee, and we were talking about experiences and some of the things that we, have gone through over since, we haven't seen each other. And, she said, she kind of had fallen back and just like really had come off social, had done all these different things. And she's like, look, I have just been, and she said, I'm trying to figure out what basically her next move is. And I said, it sounds to me as I'm listening, and this is after like a couple hours of conversation. And I said, look, it sounds to me as I'm listening to you that you don't trust your own power. And she said, you're right, I don't. And this is the missing piece to so many people with every obstacle that they encounter, with every stumbling block that comes into their pathway. They're totally thwarted. All this anxiety consumes them. They feel helpless. Oh, woe is me. What am I to do? You are supposed to, in that moment, enact your power. In that very moment, when the obstacle appears, you are supposed to assess the situation, what we got going on here. Let me see what it is. And now let me get my power on it. Let me start laying hands on the situation. Let me start believing, speaking, trusting my abilities. Oh, maybe I got to call that person that's kind of been gnawing in my mind that I was supposed to call. Maybe I am supposed to send that email, or that person who I met the other day and they gave me their card and they told me they did that thing that I was actually in need of doing. Oh, maybe I'm going to have to go enact my power. But some of y'all want to keep waiting for some trumpet to sound and some sky to open up. The sky has bust wide open. It's you. The sky is open. The Chicken Little. The sky didn't fail. Now you up. You're up at bat. How do you start moving mountains in your life? How do you start pulling on resources, asking for help, trusting the process, slowing down, getting quiet, asking better questions, reading, studying, listening? Shut your mouth. Quit talking. And listen, and maybe you will see your power better. Oh, but I know that that's not gonna be it for somebody. Oh no, that's not true. Oh, I'm so powerful, black girl magic. Woo woo. Yeah, you're gonna have to start enacting and trusting your power. You are powerful. You got the ancestors in your DNA. You come from the lineage of people who sat on the front lines, who sacrificed greatly for you. You are sitting at people who crossed waters for months at a time. You are of the people, some of you are the people who survived. Some of you are the people who jumped. Whatever you are the survivor of, you got that spirit in you, and you want to sit up here and act powerless and act helpless and act like, woe is me, and you've been down bad for months and months and months. At some point, you're gonna have to snap out of it and trust your power. I don't care how many healing bowls, sound baths, oral cleanses, how many Reiki, how many sessions, how much therapy. At some point, you're gonna have to use your power. I was in therapy for 7 years. I love my therapist down to this day. But after 7 years, I had completed the cycle that I was supposed to do. And at that point, I knew that I was going to have to apply the tools. At some point, you can keep coming here every week if you choose to, if you need to. But at some point, I got to the point where I was like, okay, well, I'm just in here shooting the shit. At some point, I'm sitting here thinking like, wait a minute, and it's nothing against. It was just that I was in the spirit that, okay, you graduated to another level. You've graduated. Everybody who gets you on a ground level is not meant to you're not meant to go with them, and they're not meant to go with you to the stratosphere. They was at the ground level. They was at baseline. They helped you get your foundation straight so you could take off. And so now you're going to have to cut the umbilical cord. You're going to have to take the training wheels off, and you're going to have to actually do this thing. And that means you're going to have to trust your power. And that was the thing I had to realize. I got to trust my own power. Wait a minute, I'm laying too much down to laying too many of these birds down. Wait a minute, hold on. I got some power. I can get some stuff. I can get some stuff done because I got power. And some of y'all gonna have to believe and trust your own power. You're gonna have to trust your own power. That's your audacious move in 2026. Your audacious move in 2026 is trusting that you are divine and there is power in these hands. There is power in this body. There is power in this, on this tongue. There is power. There is power in these feet. When I walk into a room, there's power. There is power in this voice when I speak. There's power. There is power in the way I show up and what I command, demand. But what comes back to me, that is power. You are going to have to be audacious enough in 2026 to step into your own power. Trust your power. Trust your power. That's even in this little book. That girl, she all the time that she was told, you know, when she got there with the other concubines, like, oh, you ain't come from that kind of family. Oh, you was poor. You just a dumb little dirty village girl. You stink. You this, you that. And for all those times in this book that I'm reading, y'all, the little girl, the young girl, she felt so powerless. And she kept saying, wait a minute, well, I know I'm not that and I'm not that. But guess what? She ends up being chosen to be the empress in waiting. So now she got all the power. Just a girl from the village who everybody counted out, said she wasn't good enough, great enough, big enough, bad enough, bold enough, didn't have the right pedigree. I know that's somebody who's in this chat right now. You were supposed to be a statistic. You were supposed to be a statistic. You were supposed to be in jail. You were supposed to be dead. You were supposed to be. Because there were so many people who counted you out, who gave you, who wrote you off, who said you would never be, you would never amount to nothing. Oh, you just like your no good daddy, you just like your no good mama. I can't stand you. You remind me so much of them. I can't. You were told that you weren't going to be that thing that you are right now. And you had to have so much audacity to beat every statistic, every study, every case study, every journal, every medical thing that said you were not gonna be here. We wouldn't even count on you to make it. But because you are audacious enough to trust your own power, to say that, wait a minute, there is something bigger, better, greater for me. I just got to have the audacity to trust it. I got to have the audacity to surrender to it. I got to have some audacity to know that I'm dreaming in dreams that, baby, ain't nobody even seen this. The people that I'm around, they ain't even seen a dream like this. They ain't seen a vision like this. They haven't experienced it. But then you went out there and you were audacious enough to do it, to become it, to hit the mark, to cross the tape of it all. And here you are. And you want to sit up here and now you want to get to this big ass age and stage and say, I don't trust my power? Girl, you've seen too much. You've seen too much. You've experienced too much for you to act powerless. You've gone through too much. You survived too much for you to now act powerless. You got to have the audacity to turn the power on in your life. You want to step into your authority. You want to step into bigger spaces. You want to step into bigger rooms. Step into your power. Stop waiting on somebody to hand it to you and spoon feed it to you and crumb it out to you and pass it out and dish it out. Turn on your power. Some of you got to have the audacity to turn it on. Who does she think she is? Wait a minute. She used to be sitting there all meek and mild. Let me let y'all understand. I know I'm not inheriting the earth. You know why? Because I'm not meek. They said the meek shall inherit. I'm going to get something else. I got something else. I got something else. All this that you are looking for and searching for, imagine if you turned it in the mirror and said, wait a minute, I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting on you to turn your power on. I've been waiting on you to walk into who you are. I've been waiting on you, and I'm so glad you're here. It's game time. Let's go. I told my team yesterday, I was sitting there, I had two new staffers there yesterday, young people. And they said, they were asking me questions, and we were talking about books, and we were talking about all these things. And I told them that I had a goal of reading 100 books. And they said, what? 100 books? And I said, yeah. I said, I told them how I got to coming up with 100 books. And I said, the average person hasn't even read a book since grade school. And they said, oh, I know. I said, the average person in America, over 54% of Americans read at a 6th grade level. I said, so you know what keeps me out from arguing with people in the comments? I said, because I know that nigga ain't read no book. I know they ain't read no book. I know that they ain't read a book since Juvenile was telling them to back that ass up in the 99s and the 2000s. I know that they haven't read a book since Rex and Effects was talking about Rump Shaker. Okay? So I'm not about to be arguing, okay, in the comments, knowing that the last book you read was James and the Giant Peach. Okay? And the Berenstein Bears. Okay? Amelia Bedelia. So I'm not even about to be arguing with nobody doing that. But then they said, well, 100 books, that just sounds like so much. I said, you know why I got it? Because the average person ain't read one. I said, and I like to consider myself an above average person. And I thought I was doing something last year when I hit 34 books, because the average person, as I said, hasn't even read one. I said I did 34 books, felt kind of good. Then I measured myself up, and I'm talking to my homegirl. She said she read 300. I said, well, wait a minute. I see somebody else on the internet, highly capable, highly successful, moving and grooving. He said he read 142 books. I said, well, okay, Brandi, you can do that's 2 books a week. You essentially 2 books a week. I can do that. And I said, you know why? Because if I claim to be above average in everything that I do, the average person is only doing that. I am so far above average. Nothing about my life wants to be average, feel average, accept average, get comfortable with average. So the average person is doing that. I said, imagine if I turned off that social. Imagine if I stopped doom scrolling on my phone. Imagine what world could be unlocked. And you know what's been unlocked for me? I've been using even different words. I've been putting different words in my daily vocabulary. Even when I'm talking to my nephew, when I'm using other words because they're constantly being in my sphere, in my subconscious, in my conscious mind. I'm reading it, I'm looking at it, I'm feeling it, I'm being engrossed with it, I'm being immersed in it, I'm being submersed in it. Oh my God, look at that's amazing. My life is better already. This is book 12 of the year. So I'm a little behind, but this is book 12. This is my 12th book of the year. And I say that because we are striving to become better people, better stewards of our gifts. You know what makes you a better steward of your gift? The research, the time that you spend into it, the love that you give on it. That's what makes you a steward of your gift. But so many of you all have hidden your gifts because you refuse to be consistent with the one thing God is asking of you. You refuse to be consistent with the one thing. Wait a minute, I need a little more time. I need you to get quiet. I need you to turn off all them other voices. I need you to turn off all that other chatter. I need you to, I got some downloads I want to give you, but you got it too loud in here. You won't quiet your heart, quiet your mind, quiet your space. And so I can't even give to you. You can't even get the emissions that I'm giving off because you got all these other outside things taking up space in your time, in your life, in your mind. I need you to get quiet. Some of y'all blessing is waiting for you just to get quiet so God can give you the download. Some of y'all just need quiet time. Your audacious step is for you to be quiet. That's the audacity you can give in your life. Because in order to get the download, you have got to get quiet. You gotta be in the space to feel it, hear it. It gotta come to you. It gotta drop in, drop on you. You gotta be aware. And some of you got every TikTok, every Instagram, every dance, every reality star, everything that's going on, everybody drama, what Brorilla doing, all of that. Listen, you gotta get quiet so you can enhance your gifting. You got to turn on your power. All right. So listen, that's Winter Wednesday. It's Winter Wednesday. They said, I'm reading Birth of a White Nation, The Invention of White People, and its relevance today by Jacqueline Batalora. I read about 20,000 books. I can't even count how many books that I own. Damn, 20,000 books over your lifetime? Listen. They said download this episode and put it on replay. Come on, sometimes I feel inclined to give a little word, y'all, just a little word. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Because some of us, we got to get quiet to get. Some of us got to turn our power on, be audacious enough to turn our power on to get to be audacious in this season. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Some of y'all gonna have to surrender. Your audacious move that you're going to make in this year, you're going to surrender. You're going to surrender to the process. So last week, after Carly and I did the live for the book club, I went and got my hair twisted. And so I go get my hair done and I'm in the car. Now, mind you, I'm running late. Because I cooked me something to eat, talked to Carly, all the things after we got done on the live. So I'm running a few minutes late and I'm not thinking it's going to be that bad. Then I put it in Waze and I'm like, oh my God, like, dang, it's going to take me almost an hour to get there. So I'm sitting in the car, and y'all, oh my God, move out the way. I'm doing all this. Oh my God, move out the way. Like, damn, I'm flying. I'm doing all kind of just foolishness. Girl, I end up, I send her the message and say, hey, on the way, traffic is brutal. And I put the phone, the phone was down. And I said, Brandi, I said, Lord, I was like, I surrender. I said, God, I surrender. I surrender. I'm not gonna get there no faster. I'm not gonna get it, baby. And I'm gonna end up being in some foolishness because I cannot get my mind right. I was out here just road raging. Cause they didn't know you was late. You knew you were supposed to leave earlier. You knew what time you was leaving. You knew what time you was supposed to be there. So now everything is urgent and an emergency. But y'all, I sat at the light and I just took a good deep breath and I said, God, I surrender. I surrender to getting there. I surrender to getting there safely. And y'all know what I did? I put on Ari Lennox album because had been like listening to that for the week, and I put on Ari Lennox album, and I really got to just listen to her album in the ride because I just got still and I got quiet and I said, God, I surrender. And you know what ended up happening? Some time came off the clock just a little bit after I said, I surrender. I started driving and the waves on the screen, the time changed and we got a new route. And this will take 3 minutes off the ride if you go this way. Okay, boom. I surrender. It may not be you in the car driving. It may just be the process of your life right now because it feels tumultuous. It feels arduous. It feels like it is a lot of heavy lifting. It feels like a lot of burden bearing. It feels like too much heavy load sharing. It feels like all of that in this moment. But I came to just be an audacious reminder that in this, the biggest move you can make is to surrender. You end up getting a little time back. You end up easing into it. And you know what? When I walked in, I was so grateful. I was so gracious. I walked in, I said, April, I was like, thank you for being so patient and understanding today. Thank you. So she was like, no problem. I understand. And I tell her the story. She said, you just had to surrender. I said, I had to surrender. Because guess what? We thinking we're going to be met with some attitude. We think we're going to be met with, because all the hairstylists got a policy. You're 5 minutes late, you owe more money. You're 15 minutes late, you need to reschedule all the things. And I'm a respecter of people's time and their gifting. And I was like, hey, I said, I appreciate you. Thank you for being so gracious. Thank you for being so patient. When we just surrender to the process, somebody is waiting for us with loving arms. Somebody is waiting to receive us with loving arms. Somebody has been waiting for you to show up. Somebody has been waiting for the thing that you have that nobody else has been able to deliver in their life. Somebody's just waiting for you to be the best that you can be so you can set them on the path to light the way to do the same thing for somebody else. You're going to have to be audacious enough to surrender. Life gets better when you just surrender to it, when you go with the flow of it and say, you know what, not my will, but thy will be done. It's Winning Wednesday. You already know the vibes. It's your girl, Brandi Harvey. Until next time, new episode, Bought and Power Talks. One of my favorite episodes, Ashley Renee Allison will be on the show tomorrow. My line sister, my good friend, CNN correspondent, and the publisher and owner of The Root. So excited to have her on the show tomorrow, 10 a.m. Bought and Power Talks. Another good one for the books. Be sure to share this with somebody who needs a little more audacity to turn their power on. Surrender to it all, but be consistent every single day to go out here and do it. I love y'all. Eat well, give a damn, move your body every single day.